guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I recruited Adam from work in the gym to sit down with me to go over all the stuff you guys want to know about the house. This has been such a highly requested video on things we regret, things that we love, things that we wish we would have known. We've gotten so many house questions and you guys have been asking for this video, and we're finally sitting down and filming it today. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I feel like we just have to say like a little disclaimer. We are so grateful for this home and we are so happy here. So this isn't like trying to be ungrateful or
complaining.
Yeah, this is our first home build and we had no idea what we were doing. So we learned a lot along the way and we're gonna kind of share those things with you guys. So I wrote down some things in the notes section of my phone, and then I also asked you guys over on Instagram to ask us questions. So I think we're gonna start this video with some of our regrets. So like I said, we have kind of a long list of things that we wish we would have done, and I know a lot of you guys are building too, so you want to know these things, and I completely understand that. So some of the things that I wrote down are, and I don't know if it just depends on your builder, but I had a designer that was part of the building process. She didn't help me design any spaces. She was kind of just like the person I told what I wanted to, and she made those things come to life. So she didn't help design anything, but she was just kind of like there if I had questions, and help relay all of those things that I wanted to the builder. So a lot of the things that I picked out were from a catalog or were from photos online. And I don't know if it was because of COVID, but it was hard. It was difficult to pick out finishes, to pick out lighting. I would say 70% of the lighting that I chose, I ended up not loving. Huge regrets. Definitely the entryway light, definitely wanted something more bold there, and it's kind of hard to know those things from a photo in a catalog. I know a lot of builders will take you through showrooms and have you pick out things from there, and she did take me to a showroom for lighting options, but unfortunately I didn't love anything on the showroom floor. So same thing with hardware. All of the hardware I chose from a catalog, like a book. And then when those pieces come in and you see them and touch them in person, they're not exactly what you thought they were gonna be. And then you're kind of stuck with them at that point. You can't change your mind because they're already ordered. So that was difficult for me because I'm such a visual person and I have to like see and touch things and see them in person. And so picking out really expensive things for our forever home was difficult. And I don't know if that's just like how our builder does it. But I regret a lot of the lighting, the door handles. They're very bright yellow and they didn't look that way online. So that's a difficult change, but that's something that we definitely want to fix. They're pretty yellow gold, and I was hoping they were going to be more of like a bronze gold.
So the outside of the house, I guess a lot of big communities, they have like cookie cutter, like landscape, I don't know if that's the word, whatever the house is supposed to look like from the outside. Most of them are kind of like standard, but our house, we had an architect who custom designed everything. Like we could have made the house look basically however we wanted on the outside, as long as it wasn't something crazy. Like the pillars we added after the fact. I just wish that we could have received a better rendering of the outside of the house so that we could change things, like kind of like the curvature of the windows and some of the, what are those, shutters or whatever?
Yeah, so when you get your plan back from your architect, that plan is exactly how it's gonna look. So if you don't like the smallest little detail in it, you have to speak up and make that known, or else it won't get done. And so we kind of thought it was just kind of like a guide, and we were gonna get asked later on in the process, you know, like, so what do you want to do here? Or
yeah, I thought it was like a draft. Like, yeah, hey, this is the first draft. Obviously, it's going to change because, like, that's what, like, you're building a house here. There's a lot of things that change, but apparently not. Like, what was what was done during like the first meeting, or we kind of finalized things. There wasn't a lot of room to move things around after that meeting, and that was before there was even concrete.
Yeah, so for example, shutters. Like I wanted shutters on our windows. We didn't know whether or not to express that at that red line meeting, or if they were going to bring it up, 2-3 weeks from now. Hey, do you want so-and-so? Well, this was our first time doing this, so we didn't know when these questions were going to get brought up. Or so if you don't think of these things on your own, they're never going to get brought up. They're never going to ask you along the process. It's you tell them exactly what you want up front, and that's exactly what you're going to get. So that was something that we definitely learned, and wish we would have learned sooner, for sure, because there's a lot of add-ons that we did later on in the process.
And if you don't have to add things on, it makes it easier because you have an accurate price for what everything's going to cost. Because anything after you sign the contract is in addition to whatever the contract was for. So we had a bunch of add-ons for things like cabinets and the outside windows and stuff. Like the shutters, to me, the shutters, you wouldn't talk about shutters until you're about ready to put them on. I feel like that's something you don't bring up right away.
Before even concrete's poured.
But I get that they have to price this stuff out, so. Yeah,
we understand now, but like I said, this was our first time, and so we just didn't know when to say these things, when to ask questions, because we thought it was kind of their responsibility to be asking us certain things because we don't know what we're doing. So yeah, I wrote down triple check measurements. So washing machine, fridge, you guys know we ran into issues with that. So a lot of questions that we get are about our stackable washer and dryer in our master bathroom, which is probably one of our favorite things that we included in our floor plan because it essentially acts as our hamper. So we honestly don't even use our pull-out hamper. It's collecting dust right now because our washer, once we take our clothes off, we just throw them straight in the washer, and it's genius, honestly. I love having that in here. And we also have a actual laundry room. So that was something that was confusing to a lot of people, was why do you guys have your washer and dryer in the master bathroom and not like an actual laundry room? So we have both, and they get used all the time because we have 4 kids.
Yeah, and that's something that definitely needs to be brought up at the beginning because they have to plumb that in. Like before foundation's poured, they have to plumb the drain essentially, and then they obviously have to put a med board.
Plumbing is like one of the first things.
And you could put it in the closet. I mean, that's what we thought initially. Yeah. We actually had it in the closet at first, and then they had a little room in the design to put it in like its own little corner. Yeah,
I'll show you guys a little overlay here, but they didn't account for how wide our washer and dryer was going to be coming into, so we have an entryway in our bathroom that leads to like the tub and the shower and everything, and our washer and dryer was wide about what, 1/8 of an inch or something.
Yeah, it was basically too narrow to fit a full-size washer and dryer.
We cut out a space for a full-size washer and dryer, and I mean, it's a first world problem, and we totally understand that, but if we could help someone else out there that's building, that is wanting this, just make sure that they account for a big enough walkway to get that washer and dryer in, because that was something that we had to go back and had to have our trim work person
they had to cut it out and make room for it.
Another big regret was the carpet that I chose. It's very absorbent, and I honestly wish we just would have done all hardwood floors. We did only carpet in the kids' rooms, and as you guys can see here in this footage, it shows every little mark, and we do not wear shoes in their rooms. I don't know what it is about this carpet. I did not do my research clearly, and obviously it's a lighter carpet, but we had this color carpet in our last house and it did not show this many footprints. So we're gonna eventually rip it out, hopefully within the next like month or so, and put in hardwood everywhere. So definitely do your research on carpet, because we haven't even been here 6 months and it looks awful.
Yeah, so I think it was primarily because it's very short. It's not like fibrous.
Yeah, an architectural mistake was the mirrors and the vanities or the sinks in some of the bathrooms don't line up properly, so the mirrors are offset. So we did sconces in the big girls' bathrooms, and our architect didn't account for the sconces, basically.
The issue is the architect put cabinetry in there, or assumed what we were going to put in there. And then when we decided against what those assumptions were, they just didn't change the drawings. So they were essentially planning and building everything around cabinetry that was no longer the same as what the drawings were. So maybe it was wider, maybe it was smaller, or maybe the biggest problem was their sinks were not centered. Our sinks were offset to the left or right. So the fact that those weren't in the drawings caused issues with the sconces and the mirrors.
And it also, so that cabinetry that they included in those floor plans don't account for sconces. So you have to know going into your red line meeting, before concrete's even poured, this is like your first meeting, that you want to have sconces in your bathrooms. And that is not something that I thought to bring up at this very first meeting. So again, it is just a miscommunication, and it's unfortunate because that's not something that we can fix. And it's a very small, minor thing, but I mean, it is something that's pretty frustrating. But if we can help someone out there with the same problem that we faced, definitely make sure you account for if you want to do sconces so that your mirrors line up properly. Okay, our countertops in our kitchen. So this is a big regret that I have. We did quartz in there, and I just don't like the quartz that I chose. I don't really like the veining to it. I really wanted marble. We have marble everywhere else in our, all of our bathrooms have marble. And I love all of our bathrooms. All of our bathrooms are like my favorite part of our house. But I got talked out of doing marble, and I wish I just would have stuck with what I wanted, because the veining in our quartz is not, I don't know, I just don't love it. There's like speckles to certain parts, and I just don't think it looks very good. But that's something that I could have done differently. I went to a slab yard, and I'm the one that chose that. I just wish I would have done marble. Another regret is our windows right here. I'll insert some footage because it's behind you guys. We're in our master bedroom right now, and our windows were placed here because we initially thought we were gonna have our bed on this wall. But it didn't work out because when you walk in, you would be walking straight into a bed. And so I wish we would have done windows on this back wall, but we couldn't because that back wall leads up to our master closet. But these windows, you can see straight through to our kitchen. And you can see outside right now to our back patio, and obviously it's not like furnished at all. So it's just like a bunch of clutter, and it kind of drives me crazy. And I don't like how you can see straight into our living room and our kitchen. So I would totally do away with these windows and try and configure our floor plan differently to have our windows on the wall that our bed is. I know a lot of builders will do a 3D rendering for you, which is so helpful for like visual people like us.
Even if
or you can hire someone to do it for you.
Even if they had like a service where you could pay for it, I think it would be worth it 100%.
Oh, for sure.
Like, you know, like it doesn't take a long time. Like I did our house in probably a couple hours, like once I actually figured out how to do it. Mm-hmm. So if I can do it in a couple hours, I can probably do it in like 10 minutes. Yeah. And it helps to give you a perspective that you wouldn't otherwise have until it's actually built.
Yeah, but so he did do that, but I didn't realize until we were in the house that you can see through, even with the 3D rendering. So this is something that I wouldn't have known until we were actually in the house.
Like the bed issue, that I had it on there.
Yeah, I didn't really think it was gonna be that big of an issue walking into a bed, but then.
Because that was the one thing she wanted, was when I opened the door, I want to see the bed. I'm like, okay, bed's gonna go right here.
Yeah.
And when we put it there, she's like, I don't like it. I'm like, oh, that's great.
So behind us was supposed to be where our frame TV goes. So there's an outlet behind that picture frame, which drove me crazy. We just hung those frames up, and we're covering the outlet now. So it makes me so much happier when I look over in this area. But our TV was supposed to go on this wall, and our bed was gonna be on this wall, but we flipped it. Okay, moving on. The gym door, if you plan on doing a gym and you have young kids, I would definitely ask to put a lock on that door, because we have obviously locks on all of our bathroom doors. I wish we would have, do we have a lock on my office? We don't. I don't think we do.
We wish we would have.
On the office, I wish we would have done a lock, and on the gym for sure, because we have a ton of like heavy equipment in there. So we have to just be very careful with the kids. And we've tried literally every child lock you can think of, and it doesn't work with that door that we chose. What's that door called?
It's a reeded door where it's like wavy and it's frosted. The issue that causes so that it won't work for any
The door is really thick.
Yeah, and like the waves of the glass doesn't allow stuff to stick to it.
And so the child locks that we had in our previous house, that you stick to like the actual door and it kind of like locks in when you shut it, it doesn't fit around the door because our doors are so thick. So that one doesn't work. The ones that you stick onto the door don't work. So we're gonna get a padlock.
Oh, a padlock.
What's it called? A keypad. A keypad.
Padlock.
We're gonna get a keypad for it, but if you can avoid that and obviously just get a lock, it would be so much easier. Okay, do you have any other regrets? You have a big list.
Oh.
Your list's longer than mine.
Oh, babe, come on. The driveway.
Oh, yeah.
It's driving me nuts. So even my dad brought this up when we got here, was how narrow the driveway is. And it's actually not anybody's fault. The HOA here just doesn't allow for driveways wider than 12 feet. And it wouldn't be a massive problem normally, but since our driveway is so long, it's just like super easy to like drive in the grass. It's just like, and it's really tight to get into the garage and get out of the garage. It's really tight. So I wish we could have made our driveway like a little longer wider. And a little wider, but yeah, some of that stuff's kind of out of our control.
We did go over a lot on paint, but that's something that I would recommend if you have kids. We did eggshell on all of our walls and all of our cabinetry, and it's a lot easier to maintain with kids. It doesn't show every little fingerprint because it has like a really high gloss to it.
We paid extra for cabinetry when it comes to the inlay. That is such inlay?
That's something I love. I love the inlay.
I absolutely hate it. So stupid.
Once we got everything like leveled out, a lot of them were like wonky at first, but now they're all fine.
Yeah, so basically your cabinetry fits inside a
instead
groove.
Of being on the outside.
It fits in a groove that's cut, predetermined groove. So, but say you put something super heavy in it, and then it pushes it down and you try to close it, it's not going to fit in the groove because it's too heavy. But the issue is if they adjust it for that weight, it'll fit, but then if you take that item out, it'll then bounce back up and then it'll hit the top. So honestly, I think that I would have rather just did like full outlay or whatever it's called.
Outlay or inlay. Yeah, we did all inlay. Okay, our camera just shut off, so we had to restart. So hopefully this all makes sense. But a question that I saw often on the Q&A that I did on Instagram was some of my favorite things that we did in the house and my favorite rooms. So I love that we did a single story home. We knew that instantly when we wanted to build a home that we did not want stairs. And if you have kids, you know, it's like a dream to have a single story. We love it, no regrets there. That's one of my favorite things that we did. The washer and dryer in our bathroom for sure, because like we said, we basically utilize that like a hamper. And so our laundry just gets done a lot faster. Our floors, I love our floors because they hide everything. Our previous floors were really dark wood and they showed everything. And we also have a lab dog, and so she sheds a lot, but you cannot tell at all. Very happy with our floors. And then my favorite rooms in the house would probably be our master bathroom and all of the bathrooms. All the other bathrooms I love.
You love the bathrooms?
Yeah. Like Tatum's bathroom is so cute. I love the wallpaper in there. I love our powder bathroom. I haven't styled any of these rooms, by the way, but just like on their own, without a single thing in them, they're stunning. The girls' bathroom I love their pink cabinetry. Grayson's bathroom is even really cute. A regret that I do have though about the bathrooms is I do wish we would have done tubs in Grayson's bathroom and the girls' shower. I love the girl shower. I love the tile in there. But I do wish we would have done a tub at least in Grayson's bathroom. I was kind of trying to think long term into the future, and like this is going to be our forever home. So growing up in this house, I was thinking more long term, like when he gets older, it would be nice for him to just have like a shower in there and not a tub. But I kind of wish we did one.
Yep, because he's still, I mean,
he's
not showering, he's doing a house.
No, so. But I love that he uses our tub.
It'd be kind of funny to like say.
I do love having the kids like in our bathroom at night. Like that's like one of my favorite things. But yeah, that's just a small regret that I have.
I saw Vanessa's house had a pocket door, so for a bathroom, I think. So I naturally just put pocket doors on everything, and I love them.
Oh yeah.
They're kind of annoying though because you can't put you can't put any electrical, obviously, because the pocket door slides in and out. So the great thing about pocket doors is there's no door swinging into the room, so it makes the room more like useful and open.
But you can close it if you want to.
Yeah, but the problem is you can't put any electrical behind it or in front of it. So our light switches are kind of in wonky spots.
That's something we didn't say.
But there's not much they could have done about it because I mean it's kind of my fault for adding all the pocket doors. But
yeah, I mean the light switches are like in the weirdest positions. Like you go in thinking like going into the bathroom, you think like the light switch would be there.
But since the pocket door is there, you can't put a switch there. So they had to put them like on the other side or on the other wall. But
so at your red line meeting, go over that too because
I like. Can we do another one?
What?
So Tara showed me a picture of a door she wanted. And then I built it in like the CAD program, and then the front door.
Oh, I love our front door.
And it's like, I would say like that's the thing that people say the most, like when they come to the house. That's like the first thing, obviously they see that.
Oh yeah.
And it's cool because like I designed it, Tara picked it out, and it's kind of like something that's very personal because you can't buy one because we got it from like a custom door maker dude. So I really like it.
Yeah. Another door that I love in our house is our pantry sliding doors. So those are also pocket doors. So you can, I don't know, we don't leave them open all the time. So a lot of you guys probably haven't seen them, but they're this really pretty like powder blue color. And then both of the sliding doors have glass in them on the top half. I love the look, and that's probably one of my favorite features in the house too.
I can't even imagine if we had doors on some of these places, because it feels like if you had doors, it just closes everything off. Like pocket doors just seems so much better. I mean, builders don't like building pocket doors because they're apparently like super hard to frame and stuff, but they're totally worth it. Like we really
But our actual doors I love too because everything in our home is custom, but our doors were something that we really, really customized because they were initially just going to be like a plain slab door, but we put a lot of trim work on them and they're beautiful. I love them. I just hate looking at the gold knobs or the gold handles.
I didn't go to one design meeting because I'm useless with that, so she did a great job.
Yeah, I mean, for not having any experience, I love our home. There's just a few things that we wish we would have done.
Another thing is pre-wire your house for the future. So like we have Cat 5 or Cat 6 internet, which is like super fast internet, like way faster than what's even out there right now, but it's like future proof in your home. But do that, like put like pre-wire it for security, pre-wire it for speakers, like I have pre-wired for speakers in the gym. And then
is your trim soundproof?
So they insulate it. So I asked them to insulate the gym. So normally the only walls that get insulated are the exterior walls, and then I think the ones that are in the garage. But I asked them to like insulate the crap out of the gym so that it's like not loud for the people in the house. I don't know if you ever heard the music, but I had a jamming the other day. I don't think you heard it.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I didn't hear it.
And the gym itself, like it's kind of sad, but it's kind of like my favorite room.
Well, yeah. I mean, he just got like all of his gym
setup
equipment
is
in
great.
there. We still have a few things we want to do. Want to do a window on the, or not a window, a mirror on the back wall in there, and
yeah. So like, I know it sounds like really hard to do, but if you're like, figure out where stuff is gonna go anywhere in your house before you have them build it, because like, you want to make sure you have enough room to put whatever you're wanting to put in that room. Like for example, like a platform didn't fit in the gym when I thought it would, and if I would have just measured or whatever, it probably would have fit. So like, stuff like that is important. Like, I honestly just, they showed me a size of the gym and I was like, yeah, sounds good to me. I didn't even really think much of it, but I kind of regret not making it like certain dimensions, like maybe more square, so that things fit in there a little better. But
yeah. Okay, I'm gonna move on to some of the questions that you guys asked. There's a lot, so, and I know this video is already really long, so I'm gonna answer a handful of them, and if you guys liked this video, maybe we can do just a Q&A in regards to the house. But one question that you guys asked was about the VA loan. So you asked, my husband and I used VA loan for our current home, but we want to build. How does that work with VA?
So you can use, so we did it very unconventionally, where the builder financed the build, and then we took over permanent financing.
Yeah, because of COVID, it was awful.
Yeah, so because no one wanted to lend money during COVID, so they took the liability, and basically we paid them interest during the period at which they had the house. But normally you can do a construction loan, and actually they don't have limits, at least in Texas, I don't believe. I think they got rid of the limits for what's like what you can get a loan for VA loans. So basically you can go VA construction, and then it'll turn into permanent financing when the house is finished. And it works pretty good.
A common question I got asked was, how much over the estimated cost did you guys go?
Yeah, and I think this is really important, because I went into it with the mentality of, oh, we're not gonna have to get anything extra or whatever, but this stuff really started adding up, and I think we were at least 15% over what the contracted price was. And the issue is,
you don't know you're going to go over until you start going to your design meetings and picking things out. So
yeah, and we, that's all money that you have to put up as cash, essentially.
Yeah. So you can allot for a certain amount.
Yeah.
And we did do that, but we still ended up going over.
Yeah, and you can give yourself an allowance. So in the event you do go extra, they can pull from that allowance. Mm-hmm. But anything, so say if you do construction financing and you go over whatever your finance cost is, you're gonna have to front that additional money, because you're only financing and you're only approved for a certain amount. So if you go 10K over for windows or something, you have to give them 10K worth of cash. At least that's how it would have been for us. So that was kind of stressful, is trying to, pay, cash for all this stuff when we didn't have to.
Do we like our house layout? I love it. I think I honestly don't know if I would change anything. Maybe the hallway that's by the kids' rooms. So it leads to a dead end with a storage closet. And I ideally would like it to kind of like flow through the rest of the house. And that was kind of like a regret that I had early on when we started framing. But other than that, I think our floor plan, we love it. Yeah. It flows really well, and I don't have any regrets, do you? Other than that small little one. It's a very open floor plan, but I don't know.
Yeah, if you have room, we asked to make some of our hallways 5 feet wide. I think like the standard. Yeah. I think the standard is like 4 or 4.5. So the kids' rooms hallway is a little wider.
We wanted our hallways to feel more open instead of like really narrow. And so unless you say something, they're just gonna build it 4 feet wide.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean,
which is standard, which is fine, but that's just like a preference we had early on, that we knew we wanted bigger hallways, lots of little ones running around constantly, like all around the house. And we love that we did that. That's definitely something that Does that cost extra to do?
No, because so basically, why I said if you have room is like, basically by making your hallways wider, you're cutting room size somewhere.
Well, yeah.
So like we opened the hallway another foot. That meant our kids' rooms got smaller by a foot lengthwise.
A lot of people think Bailey and Shay's room is small.
No, it's pretty big.
It's really big, you guys. It's just, I feel like it looks small on camera, but that was a request that we had early on too with our architect, was we wanted their room, it's probably almost double the size of Grayson's.
It's
pretty big.
I think it's like 13 by 19 or something.
We have a big piece of furniture in there. Their bunk bed is huge, so it, I guess, kind of makes the room look smaller. But if we put that bunk bed in, say, Grayson's room, it would look way smaller. But their room is a very decent size, and we did that because they share a room.
The garage too. So the garage was initially, what's that?
I wish we would have done the garage a little smaller and use that square footage in our actual home.
Oh no, the cost of doing that is so minor. Like,
what do you mean?
Relatively speaking, like making your garage bigger, I don't even actually think they.
No, I wish we would have made our garage smaller.
No, I know, but
and
it's
had
more
more square footage in our home.
But it wouldn't have
made your gym a little bit bigger, or.
Well, by making the garage bigger, I think it made my gym bigger because it widened everything out. We basically, the garage was initially like 2 feet smaller on each way. I personally like it, but I don't know, I can fit all my stuff in there.
Someone asked if you wish you had a bigger gym. No, his gym is pretty big.
I just wish it was maybe a little wider because it's a rectangular shape. So I wish it was maybe wider on the long side. So like
that's what I mean, is like using some of that square footage from the garage and maybe using it for the gym.
Yeah.
It's a decent, I mean, you have a freaking gym in our house, so why are we even complaining? And I feel like we have to say it again, like we're not complaining, we're just being very honest on some things that we wish we would have done. Okay, a lot of you asked like the sizing of some of our rooms. So our living room, what would you say? It's very long, but not as wide.
That's what she said.
So I kind of wish it was wider and not as long. So like the distance from our kitchen island and the back of our couch, there's a lot of space there. We could essentially put like another dining room table there if you wanted. But we have a dining room already, so I plan on getting a table to put behind the couch to kind of fill some of that space. But what would you say the dimensions of our living room were?
I think it's like 20 feet wide by. It kind of depends on what you figure is the end, but like if you went all the way to the island, I mean, you're talking 30 feet or something. But like where it actually kind of ends, like at the door, that's probably like 25 feet or something.
And then our ceilings are 12 feet?
12 feet, yeah.
12 feet. And then the kids' rooms are 10 or still 12? I think our ceilings in our...
Yeah, I think the kids' rooms are 10. Yeah, all the rooms are 10, but the dining room I think is 14, and then the family room is 12, I think. The fence, oh boy, let's talk about the fence.
Oh my gosh.
So we have...
That was so frustrating.
Like, we have 4 kids, and it's very clear that we have 4 kids and a dog. Like, it's... So, like, this is another one of those things where it has nothing to do with the floor plan. It has nothing to do with anything floor plan related. At the Red Line meeting, we talked about fences, and basically it was like, yeah, we'll talk to the fence guy, and we'll get back with you. And there was no talk about the fence until I brought it up in, like, May. Mind you, we move in June. So like, I was like, hey, when are they installing the fence? And they're like, what fence? I'm like, what fence?
They were literally just gonna move us in with no fence. And a dog and 4 little kids. Yeah,
and since it's such a small builder, like, it's very clear that they know we had kids. I just wish that there was more of a personal aspect to it, to where like they would say, oh, hey, I know you have kids, and by the way, there's no fence yet. Like, did you want a fence, kind of thing? But it's almost like they're just trying to like finish the house and move on to the next one, kind of thing. So that's the only thing that like really irritated me about things that were kind of missed
Just
that
like
were really important. Like that's really important.
It was really important, yeah. And it's not a cheap thing either, so.
Yeah. So basically the fence guy had to come out after we moved in, and we had to keep our kids inside basically the entire time because we didn't want them to
We couldn't
escape.
utilize our backyard for the first like few weeks, which was
most HOAs require a fence, like from the build, and our HOA only requires it if you have a pool, so you didn't need one unless you had a pool. So that was their kind of excuses. Hey, you don't have a pool, so what do you need a fence for? I'm like, what about my kids?
Okay, someone asked how long did it take from the first contractor appointment to move-in day?
Probably almost a year. Just over a year.
But a lot of that had to do with COVID.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of delays because of COVID. We signed on our lot right when COVID hit.
Once the process got rolling, it moved really quick.
Yeah, it was just the
financing.
startup.
Yeah, the financing part was kind of wonky.
Because no one wanted to.
And no one knew what was going on. Like, I'm sure a lot of bankers thought it was like the end of the world or something. They're like, I can't lend money because it's the end of the world.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna answer one more question. Okay, our pantry. Someone asked if our pantry is too far from the kitchen. Our pantry is right behind where our stove is. So, I don't know, it may look different on camera, but it's in our kitchen.
It's like as close as it could possibly be, really.
Yeah, it's really close. So it's, I don't know, we love it. It's right behind our stove and our cabinetry and our open shelving there. It's that wall right behind it. And we have 2 entryways to our pantry. So it flows really nicely too. So we love everything about our floor plan, honestly. I don't think there's anything that we would do differently other than that one hallway. But there are like hundreds of questions. So if you guys enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and we will try and do another one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys got some insight on what it's like to build a home, and hopefully this was helpful. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.
Right now I'm standing in a corner. I see you from across the room. It's kinda crowded here.